Thank you and welcome to the show today. The topic today is the African American press and economic development, and we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the African American press and economic developments, Mr. SLathem. And of course, Mr. Latham, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here.
And to tell you, Mr. Latham, that I'm sure that most of our audience know you quite well because you've been involved in dealing with the African American press for a long time. We've had many opportunities to talk to you in reference to that. But there might be a few who might not know you. And so let's give you an opportunity during this first segment to talk about some background information about your career and some of the things that were important in terms of your newspapers as well as other information that you'd like to deliver for us this morning.
Well, I would like to take you back to Sweetwater, Tennessee, which is a city in East Tennessee, 30-some miles below Knoxville. And growing up, we didn't have access to the black press. When I became probably 9, 10 years old, I ran across a copy of Pittsburgh Courier. At that time, it was one of the 3 or 4 national black newspapers and was quite impressed. As a matter of fact, started selling it because that was the only way I could get it in my hometown. It was 10-cent a newspaper back then, but very good information. It covered the White House. I guess one of the extra features is that my cousin, Oscar Robertson, was making history playing basketball at that time. And they used to cover quite a few of his games so I could keep up with what he was doing. And I guess I developed an affinity for black news at that particular time. And sometimes you don't know what kind of impression that makes on you when you're young. But when I left Sweetwater, Tennessee, came to Nashville to go to Tennessee State University, I was amazed that a city this size didn't have an established black newspaper. So during my matriculation at Tennessee State, still kept up a lot with what was going on nationally in the press. And so having a degree, or having gotten a degree in biology, I pursued teaching for a couple of years after that. That was 1968 when I finished out there. And from that point, I don't know how it happened, but I was contacted by a headhunter and got an opportunity to go in marketing. And so part of my development was to attend an MBA program and specialize in marketing. And I chose to go to the University of Tennessee at the time here in Nashville with that. And I've always enjoyed writing, Dr. Haney, and got the opportunity to do some technical writing in marketing. That is some of our findings and results based on research, market research. And they would always gravitate to me to write up the reports to give to clients. And so that was a natural love that I had. And finally got the opportunity to work for a newspaper. It was a paper that came online here called the Ebony Gazette. And I worked as the assistant to the publisher, got a wide range of experience in doing that. The gentleman's name who was the publisher was Elder Simon, who used to be at Riverside Hospital. So we worked in that for about a year, and he had some partnership problems, and it sort of went out. And I decided to get some more experience. I worked in radio and broadcast, and until it was time for me to launch my own publication. And that's been now right at 30 years ago.
And so you've been involved for the last 30 years dealing with the African American press in and around Nashville, over the state of Tennessee.
And Memphis.
And Memphis. And that's what we want to talk about, the economic development, because you've had an opportunity to see a lot of things happen over those years, and you've got a lot of knowledge in reference to how things work in reference to that.
Yes, it's almost like 2 different periods in Nashville. In the 80s, I think we all suffered some with the recession that was a hangover from the 70s. Then there was sort of an uptick that the whole community began to surge forward. And out of that, we developed some gigantic companies like Excess Med Plus, Phoenix Healthcare. We owned a radio station, owned quite a few things. And Really, the 90s, it was a pinnacle in terms of economic development for blacks, and loans weren't that difficult to get, or as difficult to get back then. But then suddenly, almost akin to the Reconstruction period, things nosedived.
Thing turned against everything that was progressive and accepted.
Oh,
and of course,
extremely so.
Let's get ready for this first commercial break, Mr. Latham, and that will give us an opportunity when we come back to talk about how this downturn, because I think that the one that we're suffering now is certainly worse, but I think there might be something that we might be able to get out of that in terms of experiences and et cetera. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.